once a week.
Well, Dad, what did it mean to be an inside guy because you were a brigadier? What did that buy you?
Oh, that buys you a lot
All the
of
best
stuff.
girls.
Best girls.
The best girls?
Position in the
Best
rocker.
Right. You were recognized by all the leaders in the high school.
Right, and you get to beat guys the next year.
Right, and you got to beat them up the next year. Look at my little eye. Doesn't have an eye in it anymore. Somebody took my eye apart. What happened to the eye in the damn thing?
Where'd the eye go?
Well, I don't know. It was okay there before. Now it's
You should
not.
see Anna sitting on the couch. Is she holding her bunny?
Go through that door there.
Oh, yeah.
Out that way.
So tell us more about your high school days, guys.
Yeah.
We want to hear.
Ask
Well,
Gene.
we'll
Don't ask
see.
Gene about his college years, because then you're going to have to hear about the beds.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
Did,
The beds.
You know
I
how
want to
many-
hear about that.
Diane, do you know,
Made beds.
if you made 52 beds 6 days a week for 4 years at a large university, do you know how many beds you would have made in 4 years?
No, Gene.
I'll
how
tell
many?
you, 54,320.
Did you do all that?
That's how many we did.
Wow.
What was that number?
And I was paid $17 a month.
And you had to walk 10 miles through the deep snow to a one-room schoolhouse.
No, not 10 miles.
No.
Oh, no.
You had to walk.
Well, what sort of hazing did you have to go through to get into Sigma Chi?
Well, every week they would have a chapter meeting downstairs, and they'd come up and they call for the pledges. You're upstairs, take you downstairs one at a time. All the members are sitting in the living room, huge living room. You sit in the middle. They go around the room, about 40 guys.
Tell you
guys
one
will
thing
pass.
you did wrong.
Whatever you did wrong that week. And anybody in that room could say, I want to hit.
Anyone that you upset and did something wrong to.
Could ask for a
That's
hit.
the same in every fraternity. Could take a hit. Now
What
this
does
is
that
not.
mean? Take
now
a
this-
hit.
That means you get the
Did you ever
paddle,
see a wooden paddle this
Oh,
long?
yeah.
and you go and you kneel and you grab your personal parts and they
What? And you got no padding.
you got
In the fraternity house when they did this.
There's no women.
there's no women and no drinking.
No women and
Oh,
no.
you didn't have co-ed fraternity
No
houses?
drinking, no
What fun is
women.
that?
Get real.
Thanks, they didn't have quite fraternity houses when
Fun
I
is
was there.
that.
We had girls living in my dorm.
We were the leaders.
Yeah, 60.
We didn't have any girls.
Not in the 40s. They don't have any fraternities with women living.
And then
there.
one
It's
time,
called a
banks,
sorority.
banks down the street from
They
us, one
still
time
are.
these guys went out and they got a horse and they took it upstairs into the
Oh,
president's
you saw that.
room.
Good Lord.
And the president of fraternity has his own private bathroom. He's the only one. They took this horse up there and they gave him a shot and right in the guy's shower.
They shot him with a gun?
No, gave him a shot with a needle.
Of what?
I don't know, but he was
Did
dead
he was dead?
in the guy's shower.
Where, in your
Horse?
fraternity?
No, not in ours. I don't know, down the street. They, boy, they had
Are
a
you
lot of
sure
them.
it wasn't the movie you watched?
That's a myth.
That
We
was
used to
called
have,
Godfather.
we had the story of
We have a
what, in
basic
our
fundamental
fraternity,
agreement.
in the old days, they took a cow into the house and took him upstairs and put him in the men's dorm and let him run around.
A live cow.
A live cow.
A baby cow.
A big cow.
A big cow.
Right.
Well, when we were getting, and you'd like this.
A whole
But
big
no one
cow.
ever knew what year or when.
When I was getting
But it was a great
initiated
story.
At the Sigma Chi
It
House.
was only a story,
Now,
right?
this is
I don't
right
know.
after the war, it's 1946.
Did you fix your eye?
And in the Sigma Chi House, they had a big fireplace,
I think
back-to-back
it's had it,
fireplace.
Yeah.
So they get 4 of us on each side of the fireplace, and we're pretending we got an air raid, and we got to protect ourselves. So we
Yeah.
get inside the
It hops,
fireplace,
but the eye is.
and there's 5 guys up on the roof with about 100 gallons of water, and they pour it down the chimney,
Yeah.
and you're all crouched in there waiting for the bombs to drop. And
Yeah.
all the water comes down, and
With
all
the
the soot,
and everything
and
mixed in
it's
with
all
it?
over these beautiful hardwood floors. and
Oh,
then we
no.
crawl out on it, and then they say, now clean it.
Now clean it?
Now that's 5 hours.
I
Gave
guess.
you for Christmas, did they say?
Yeah, that's 5 hours job.
That's pretty.
That's one.
I don't know if he saw it or
What?
not. My zapper.
Your what?
The Revenger. The Binks gave me for Christmas.
Oh, that, yeah, Bink showed that.
Yeah, it's great on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. You showed that on last trip.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how you used to kill the rats when they'd come out of the hole under the barn on
Yeah,
your
tell us
farm?
about life on the farm, guys. We want to hear about that.
Yeah.
We want to tape it on Life on the Farm, right?
Yeah.
On the farm?
Life on the
Take one,
farm.
act one,
Well, I'll
scene
tell you
one.
what,
Bob
Gene and I
and
would
Gene
come home from
Fairbank.
high school after a hard day in Morgan Park High, riding the bus home.
Hard
We're
day
driving
going to
driving the
detention.
girl.
Yeah.
And then we'd assemble in the basement and we'd play pool. And then E.G. would come home from a hard day in the city, E.G. being our father. And then we'd shoot pool to see who would have to milk the two stupid cows out in the barn. Well, Gene and I had practiced at Shep's Pool Hall all afternoon.
11th Street.
On 111th Street. E.G. would walk in cold. We'd wipe him out. So we never had to milk a cow. Right?
Right.
For at least 2 or 3 years. E.G.
Oh,
you didn't do that? No, we'd shoot pool to see who would have to milk the cow, right?
Didn't E.G. ever
No.
pull rank on you and just say, look, I'm the dad, do it, kids?
No, he was gambler. He was a gambler.
No.
He'd say, I'll play it to
Yeah.
see who milks the cow.
We play rotation.
That's it. And whoever lost had to milk the cow.
And you guys are talking about putting your head in the flank of the cow. You never milked the cow.
Really?
You always
Right.
No, we
Whapping
milked,
the cow in the
oh,
head with a
no.
bucket.
We milked a lot of cows,
And the
believe me.
time on the 4th of July when I had the little cap with a little feather on it. We only had cement between in the barn where the animals were.
Yeah.
So I threw the cap down on the cement. Pow! The feather would fly up. Animals would go boom, 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 getting excited.
Yeah.
My father come in and
Took
he
the G
said,
off.
Gene, don't do that anymore. You're disturbing the animals. So he left the barn and just got out the barn door and boom!
Just
Feather went up again. The cord's going, so he comes back in and he goes in the door and there's a bullwhip hanging on the wall.
Pony whip.
Pony whip. Well, it hurt, I know that.
It was a pony.
And we had this Dutch door going out the pasture. I started running towards the Dutch door. He took the goddamn whip and whack! And
Right.
caught me right in the ass.
Or it's
right
like
threw me right over the door, right in the Minerva.
it's like the time we were having the
Boy,
corn
Gene,
cob
you really
fight.
took some licks when
Yeah.
you were
Well, we were
little.
having the corn cob
Yeah.
fight in the barn one time,
Yeah.
right? We're in the barn and we're fighting, and Gene and Merritt Weaver were up above, and me and Robert Heimerdinger,
Yeah.
somebody were down below.
Robert, who?
He was my best friend, Robert Heimerdinger. Remember?
Bobby Hyman
Robert Heimerdinger, and they had a brother, Kenny Heimerdinger.
Did brother.
Right. And we're whipping these corn cobs at each other. Bam, 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 right? And E.G. is lurking out, walking up outside, and I said, Jesus Christ, he hit me in the chest, and E.G. didn't explain it. He comes in, what'd you say? And he grabs the pony whip, and he lets me have about 3 whaps with it. Well, I said, he hit me across the chest, is all I said. He hit me on the chest. I said, I heard what you said. Yep.
One time we had to take the hay from the hayloft down to get it to the animals, you know, it was a drop, 20-foot drop from the hayloft down to the main part of the barn. There was a door going in where the animals were. It was open. Well, Bob and I could figure out how to land the bales of hay right on
To
the
let him
point,
bounce in.
and they'd bounce in,
Yeah.
so we wouldn't have to carry them.
All right.
So I dropped one down, and it didn't bounce the right way, and it took the goddamn door right off. My father comes in, he sees it hanging by the hinges, you know, and it didn't quite bounce properly.
The door wasn't in very good shape.
He worked this. He got it. He used it.
Then we had the corn grinder, remember, where we
for
have to
making
grind feed for the pigs, you know, you put the ears of corn and you turn it by hand. So Bob and I figured we were going to motorize this dude. So we rig up a motor with a pulley, and we got this little wheel that you turn by hand.
Yeah.
We got it spinning like crazy, you know, and you throw the corn cob in and go zoom, like this, you know, and it'd shoot out. And my father would be coming in, you'd have a bucket down the bottom to catch the kernels. These kernels are flying out, and they're going, he walks in, and it's just an old maze of corn flying all over. It was funny. Oh, that was Brian. Oh. Yeah. And all times.
Good times on the farm. But
So we
Joyce,
used to shoot the rats on the outhouse. That was the most fun. And on the side of the barn, my father had an old steel vessel type that he had cut in half, and that was the water trough that he had.
For the cows.
And the cows. And the outhouse was just adjacent to it. And Bob and I lay up on the roof of the outhouse. And there was a hole in the barn where the rats would come out. And we let maybe 2 or 3 of them come out. And then we try and shoot one that was halfway in and out to block the other 2 or 3. They were big rats, you know. Then the 2 or 3'd run around the pasture and we'd shoot them. We'd try to shoot. And the bullets ricocheted.
We never killed a rat.
Yeah.
We shot for 5 years. We never hit a rat. It's unbelievable.
I remember shooting one though.
Were you using a shotgun or a rifle?
22.
22 rifle.
Ah, that explains it.
So,
Probably a shotgun would have, but it would have blown the side of the
shotgun would have blown
barn.
the side of the barn.
Well, we'd sit inside
No,
the
you
barn.
killed
Well,
one
we'd
in
sit.
the hole with
We'd
these
sit
little-
right in back of the cows inside there, where we used to bounce the bales of hay. We'd sit there on this little Emerson box, right? Emerson
Shoot
motor
them
box.
there too.
And they'd come out of the, the trough behind the animals. All the sewage would go down. And inside that little hole, about this big, that hole was about that big, where everything, the water flowed down. Well, when it was dry, then out would poke the head of the rat.
Yeah,
And
they
we'd
come
sit
from
there
the-
on that box, and when the head poked out, it'd be, like that. But they'd be back in the hole before we could pluck them. It was unbelievable.
You know, they
so
were fast.
God, they were fast.
They were fast.
And we could sit there and wait, and we had them timed, and I bet we spent 100 hours of our life
Yeah.
sitting on that stupid box.
And then one day,
Oh no, a long time. This was great fun. I mean, if you're in a farm, there's not,
This is it.
a whole lot of things to do with a radio station, WLS, and that was it, right?
Crystal Set and Luke Appling, you know.
That's it. You didn't have a lot of TV there to look at, believe me. I mean, we'd go down and buy a comic book with Superman on it for 10 cents
I
at
can
Fred Holmes
rem-
department
I
store.
can remember.
Greatest event of the week.
I can
In
remember.
fact, the biggest event
Do
was,
you remember
was
where your
the,
mother used to take you for
we-
shoes?
sure,
We'd each
On
get a
Vincennes?
nickel. We'd get a nickel
Right,
every
on
Saturday.
Third and
99th and
Vincennes.
Vincennes?
no,
No, Bears.
about 103rd
Yeah, right.
Bear
Bears.
Brothers.
Bears
Right,
Brothers.
right.
But
Do
we
you
used
remember the guy that had the shoe repair store and he had 1 hour on 96th and Vincennes? He was a shoe repair guy and he was a colored. No, I don't think he was colored. But he only had 1 arm.
No,
You don't remember.
remember that
But I can remember us buying, when we got a nickel on a Saturday night, I can remember going to that drugstore in Midlothian when the first issue of Superman and Batman came out, and we bought them.
It was a dime.
And I can remember when we went in there, Joyce would always buy a comic book with a lot of girls in it or that type of comic book. And Bob and I would buy the
Action Comics.
Yeah, that's what we'd
Absolutely.
buy.
Super. That and the colored comics on the Chicago Daily News.
Right.
On the porch in the back.
Mhm.
Man, what reading. That was reading.
That was heavy
reading
stuff.
like you never knew what reading was, right?
One day, Binks,
What
we're
was
out
the
in
name
the
of
field.
The girls' school. Loring?
Loring.
Loring?
Longwood School for Girls.
No, not that.
Loring.
Loring.
Private school.
Lorraine was
Loring.
106th and
On Longwood Drive.
That's where my sister-in-law went to school.
Cool.
My sister-in-law Jean.
Did she? Loring Lemons.
Yeah,
That's what they were known
private
as.
school.
All right.
Loring Lemons.
One day we were out in the field on the farm and this airplane landed. I think it's about 1939 or 40.
Unbelievable.
Goddamn airplane went out of gas. You know,
Piper
so
Cup, little tiny.
he landed on in our field and he's out of gas, so he left it there that night. Well, he went and got gas, said he'd be back next morning. So a bunch of us go over this plane.
Robert and Kenny Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Garrett Weaver.
So somebody, inside the plane, like they're gonna fly. And a couple of guys are hanging on the wooden propeller,
Yeah.
see if we can make it go. And I wasn't inside, and I don't think I was hanging on that propeller, but I was right near it. And these guys are hanging on it, and boom,
Right,
just
we're gonna
enough
turn
gas
it,
left
turn
for
it.
the carburetor to go. And that propeller caught me in the shoulder and knocked me ass over tea kettle.
I don't doubt it.
And so then we went home, and the
We
next
decided
day,
it wasn't a good idea
the
to start the
guy,
airplane.
the guy comes back with his gas can,
Yeah.
and we help him push it back out on the road. Remember, he took right off,
52nd Street?
right over Midlothian Country Club.
Yeah.
Over those hills.
Jesus.
Up over
Right on the
100
gravel road.
Right up
The
over
FAA wasn't
147.
too
Yep.
active.
Took right off.
That was terrific when that guy landed.
Yeah.